Right, it's time for another Homebrew Wednesday. I've just done a little beer review, something not too hoppy, so I could drink a beer while I'm doing this. I haven't got an awful lot to update this week, other than that I'm going to put an order through soon for some more beer kits. There are a couple I wanna try. As I said before in my previous video, I don't think I'm going to just stick to doing all grain. I think there are still some great kits out there, especially the festival range. They still seem to be producing some great ones. I aim to get their latest one. I think it's I can't remember what the exact name is. It's kind of summery, fruity type one. But I read somewhere else that someone contacted. I think is it Richie's who make them? I can't remember. And they plan to do a free a year or something of different types, like a one-off special kind of thing. So I'm really kind of hoping that they do a stout soon, because for me, I find most of the stout kits a little bit too on the sweet side, a bit too sweet kind of thing. Like you kind of seem to only really get, from my opinion, a real good stout from doing an all grain. But I think the best stout I did on a kit was probably the EDME kit, where I added no extra sugar, just used the tin as it was, reduced the volume. That was the best for bitterness and whatnot, but the rest all come out a little bit too sweet and a bit funny for my liking. But yes, I'm hoping they produce a stout kit or something. I do want to try their porter kit. I know Home Beer Brewery did that. I'd love to try that out myself, see what that's like. But I'd love for them to do a stout kit, something a bit different, because most of their ones seem to be quite in the hoppy field at the moment. I'd like something a bit darker and a bit what's the name, see what they can produce. Probably plan to get one of the Bulldog kits as well. See what they're like. They're the new kids on the block kind of thing. Sort of a little bit along the lines of the festival ones, where you get everything included, like the hops and everything else. And I'm also going to order another kit for all grain. I was going to order a bag of grain and just run with a couple of recipes. I've got a couple of recipes already lined up that I found from other places, and that not really clones, but just recipes. One was a recipe that another home brewer and me did a swap quite a while ago, before I was even sort of swapping on YouTube and that, and he did an extract version of it, and the beer that he sent me was out of this world. It was really nice, and I asked him to post the recipe up on a forum, and he did, and someone else has converted it to an all grain recipe for me, so I'm going to plan to do that as an all grain at some point. And it might be nice to even get in contact with him again and send him a bottle of the grain version and see what he thinks, if it compares any different. So I'm going to order another all grain kit, and I think it's going to be the Ringwood 49er kit I'm going to do, only on the basis that everything's sort of already grind up and whatnot. And I also do need to still get a grain mill before I can get a bag of malt, because I want to get the uncrushed one, because the length of time that I get to do brews, if I don't have it uncrushed, it's just going to go to waste and whatnot. I mean, I'd like to be able to do one all grain a month, but to be fair, because I don't do it where I live, one, I don't get to brew that much, and I don't really get to drink as much of my home brew as I would like. Not that I would like to drink more, it's a silly thing, I would, but you know, as much as some people get it on tap, and I'm lucky if I get a few bottles a week when I can get around there and get it. So hence why I often have a very large supply of beer, which is good, because a lot of it conditions quite well and it sits there and that, but it's not so good for some of the hoppy ones that I've done, like some of the festival kits. I find out to really kind of get on top of drinking it and giving it out to people, and that otherwise the hoppiness just sort of fades away out in the bottle after a while, and it's not as fresh as it was originally. Same with the wheat beer. That's why I urged everyone who got one to kind of drink it straight away, because otherwise you just wouldn't really get the full the freshness of it and that. And once it sort of starts subsiding, then it's not as great as it once was. But onto the beer front, I've got a English bitter from Brewmaster Ben, which is the English bitter kit he got from Idle Valley Brewing. So I'm going to crack this and give this a taste. I do plan to get an order in Idle Valley Brewing at some point, because didn't actually realise until the other day that there's a nice stout kit on there that Brewmaster Ben was brewing up. And as I say, I do like to, you know, have a nice stout, so I'm hoping that that'll be a good one to get, and the price is really quite good. And it don't seems to be like there's not many homebrew shops that do an extensive range of all grain kits. So I'm hoping Harry does increase his range, you know, eventually, obviously when he gets, you know, more money and whatnot. And that. I'd love an imperial stout from him or something like that. Would be really quite nice. There does seem to be a lack of homebrew shops providing a different range of all grain kits. They do seem to focus more on the extract and just the, you know, the shop kits. Obviously you can get. So we give this a pour. Now I haven't chilled this or anything, it's just a normal cool temperature in a cold cupboard-ish. Getting quite a bitter smell on the nose, as you would, I suppose. Not very hoppy, but then you wouldn't expect it to be too hoppy for a bitter. Lovely colour, nice and dark. Can see straight through that. I think you can probably see it there. Great carbonation. Alright, let's give it a go. Very smooth. Great mouthfeel. That is a really nice bitter, I have to say. That is lovely. One of your best yet, Ben, I think. That is really drinkable. Really drinkable. Really nice. Not a great amount of head on that. I mean, the glass does look, I would say, a little bit dirty. I thought I'd cleaned it a bit better, but it doesn't bother me that it hasn't got a massive on it. But that is a really nice tasting bitter, actually. Very well balanced, I would say. Just the right amount of bitterness, right amount of hops on it. Nothing crazy as you'd expect from a bitter, but you could sink many of them easily. That is a very nice beer. I'll say it's top marks to both Ben and Harry. Harry for putting the kit together and Ben for brewing it up. Fantastic. I might even have to order one of them. That is, I'm quite impressed with that. So yeah, I don't think I've got much more. So other than the kits I want to order, and the all grain kit, then after that I'll start getting into my own recipes. And I'm sure there was something else I always forget. Oh, something I forgot from quite a long time ago. I haven't got it here with me now, but I had the auto siphon, and it had the problem with I had a problem with the hops getting stuck into that. And I bought a little plastic pot from Asda, it was over here, and that was like 50p for two. Drilled a few holes in it and whatnot. I think Norfolk Hillbilly likened it to like a swim feeder that you use for fishing kind of thing, which I hadn't thought of at the time. I have used those things myself, but you know, it didn't really cross my mind until he said it. It's exactly like that, and it worked a treat. It really did. I still put a hot bag over the end of the pipe that was going into the fermenter just in case. But when I pulled the pipe or the auto siphon out of the end, there was like very minimal hops that got actually into that kind of little chamber, and then obviously even less that got into the actual main part of the auto siphon. So that worked a treat, and obviously it being plastic, it was easily cleaned and washed out and whatnot, so it really did work a treat. So if anyone has trouble, you know, with too much hops and that, I mean, I was going to start trying hot pellets and things like that, but I think now I've sorted that out, it's not really a problem. So now on my, I was actually going to drink a bottle of my first all grain beer. I've got it. I bought a bottle home today, but it's only been conditioning for, well, since Saturday, and it's been sort of a little bit warm at the moment, so I've got it in the fridge at the moment. Going to try a bottle later to see what it's like, but I'm hoping that's going to be alright. On the subject that when I had my boiler on, even though I made like a hop filter with like a bit of copper pipe with loads of holes drilled into it kind of thing, I noticed I had quite a bit of crap come out from the boiler into the fermenter. And I know like when you use the Irish moss or the Protaflor tablet, all the proteins are meant to stick together and that and create kind of like a filter with the hops and that, but I kept seeming to get like quite a bit of crap through. Now there seems to be quite a bit of thing on, I've read on some forums that people say that the filter, like the copper filter, if you make one out of copper that is, should be drilled with holes. Some people say slots, some people say slots should be in a mash tun, some people say holes, so I don't really know, but I think I might end up going with a hop spider rather than the copper piping, purely because as well, the way I did the copper piping on the boiler that I got, it ran straight across, not touching but above the element, and when the warp stuck to the element and cut the boiler out, then I got the spoon to try and scrape it off and it started the boiler again. Obviously that hop filter was in the way. Now I was just thinking I can either go with the hop spider, or I might get a couple of or 2 or 3 90-degree copper bends and make it sort of like in like an L shape, so it goes around the plate, so then I can scrape it with a spoon still if it does sort of build up, and still keep the hop filter in there, or just go with the hop spider. The hop spider does seems to be the better solution, because I know the only other thing was using the wort chiller, putting that in there, kind of it sits on top of the copper piping and disrupts it a bit, and I wonder that if it's sitting on there it dislodges it slightly and then it causes problems when you drain off, and you know, I don't know. I think maybe hop spiders are just the easier option, because you know that's in there, you can take that out, then the wort chiller can go in while that's still in there kind of thing, and it doesn't really disturb the actual hop filter at the bottom. But if anyone's got any other suggestions about an easier hop filter in the electric boiler, then put them in the comments below. But I think I might just go with the hop spider, because it might be a bit easier, I think. But anyway, the video is getting a bit long now, so I'll say cheers, see you next time, and if you haven't already, go to idlevalleybrewing.com and get yourself a English bitter kit, because that is a tasty kit. Cheers, Ben. Thanks everyone.